I'm going to leave timestamps in the description, that way you can skip to whatever artifact you need. But other than that, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the coordinates for the artifact of the Cunning are 83.1, 25.6. Here's a picture of the map. I'm right above where the artifact is. It is in the water, but you might not need a scuba tank if you're quick. You gotta be quick though, because there's anglerfish, jellyfish, all kind of stuff. And you just come down here and grab it. It's not in any cave or anything. It's straight down from these coordinates. If you have a GPS, it'll be a lot easier to find. If not, this is the overview of it. It's right off of this island that has this little peninsula coming off of it. Not the one with the peninsula all the way to the left, right there. But this one right here, kind of in the middle of these tropical islands. These are the coordinates to the artifact of the Crag, or Crag, however you say it. This is where it is on the map. I'm going to give you an overview of it. Right under this ledge, that's the tropical isles. Green ob over there, red ob right there. This is where the wyvern spawn is, the aggressive wyverns in the desert. So keep an eye out for wyverns. I got attacked by a blood wyvern when I came to get it on the Maywing. So just keep an eye out. This is the coordinates for the artifact of the Devious. Here's where I am on the map. I'm going to show you an overview of it. That's the tropical isles over there. It's in this aggressive wyvern trench. Right next to the artifact of the Crag. So you're going to want to come directly in here from the top, and it's on this pillar right here. Artifact of the Devious. Here's the coordinates for the artifact of the Hunter. 66.4, 40.7. Right there on the map. And here's an overview of it. It's on one of these pillars right to the north of the desert. If I'm coming from desert, it's going to be this tallest pillar on the northwest side of the desert. Artifact of the Hunter. 66.4, 40.7. This is the coordinates for the artifact of the Clever's cave entrance. This is it on the map. It's in the blood crystal wyvern spawn. There's green ob right there. There's the tropical islands. Come down. Enter right here. And just take a right. It's pretty much a straight shot. And you come up these stairs. And the artifact's going to be right here. It's not popping up in my single player. I'll show you a clip of me getting it on a trop wyvern. 59.2. 33.0. And here it is on the map. Here's the coordinates for the artifact of the Gatekeeper. Here it is on the map. This one has 2 entrances. It's not really in a cave or anything. Shouldn't be anything dangerous around it. But that's red ob right there. That's green ob over there. Just gonna come down in here. And if you got something that can fly, you can just fly right here on the edge and grab it. Or you can just come around right here and grab it. Artifact of the Gatekeeper. Here's the coordinates for the artifact of the Massive. 54.6, 52.0. Here's where it is on the map. I'm going to give you a quick overview of it, just in case you don't have a GPS. There's red ob right there. That's the desert. So you're going to be looking for this waterfall right here next to this cliff. It comes down all the way down to this river that it's in. You're just going to drop down in the river. You don't need a scuba tank or anything for this one. I don't think there's anything dangerous in this river. Maybe a few piranhas, but you should be able to deal with that. And you got it. Artifact of the Massive. This is the coordinates for the artifact of the Destroyer. And here it is on the map. Give you an overview of it. That's red ob right there. It's got this big body of water right next to it. It's a different color than the water that it's in. It's that crystal blue water. They got these 2 plateaus right next to it, kind of like hitting each other. You can either go under it, which is pretty dangerous, or you can come over it, possibly land your flyer like right here on this ledge. And it's going to be right down here where all this dangerous shit is you're definitely gonna either need something to kill this stuff or be super quick. I'll show you a clip of me getting it on the Maywing because it's not spawning in my single player for some reason. Another little tip, don't land anything on those little mushroom looking trees because it will get stuck. And if you don't have grapples or anything, I wouldn't jump on it with your character either, because right when I got here I landed my Maywing on one of them and it got stuck, so I had to try to get the artifact without the Maywing, which was pretty sketchy. Here's the coordinates for the artifact of the brute. 71.9, 77.3. Here it is on the map. It's on one of these pillars in the swampy biome. Give you a look around. That's the desert over there. Red Ob, the floating islands. It's this pillar right under me. It's the only one that I've seen that has a branch going all the way around it to the ground like this. If you don't have a GPS and you can't find exactly where it's at with your map, look for this spiraling branch that wraps around it. See, all the other ones have like branches coming off of them, but none of them really spiral all the way around, at least from what I've seen. That's the artifact of the brute. Here's the coordinates to the cave entrance for the artifact of the pack. Here it is on the map. When I'm coming over here, I usually look for the biggest orange crystal. There's a waterfall coming down from it, and then there's two more waterfalls to the left coming off of this river. It's going to be right to the left of those two waterfalls. You're going to be looking for these like ancient rune type walls, not up on this highest ledge, but the next one down. I used the right entrance to come get this one. There is two entrances to it, so come in the right entrance. You're just going to go straight. It's right over this ledge, right in front of that dragon statue. But you can come around if you don't have a flyer and come down these stairs. And right when you come off the stairs, it's going to be right here in front of this dragon where it's pointing. It's not popping up in my single player, but I'll show you a clip of me getting it on a wyvern. This is the coordinates, 48.1, 74.4, and there it is on the map. These are the coordinates for the artifact of the shadows, 24.7, 71.8. Here's the map. It's on this northeast snow mountain. That's the snow right there. That's the floating islands. I had to go to the top because it gets kind of smoky in this area. But you're going to be looking for these big blue crystals. You come down, and here's the entrance right here. It's got all these little water bubbles in them with piranhas. Be careful in those. Try to avoid them if you're on a flyer. It'll dismount you. You don't have to come in very far. There's the entrance right there. You're just going to come through here. And it's going to be right here in front. Here's the coordinates for the artifact of the shadows. 23.6, 73.6. And here it is on the map. Artifact of the shadows. Here are the coordinates for the cave entrance for the artifact of the strong. 31.3, 50.6. Here it is on the map. Give you an aerial view real quick. So that's Blue Ob right there. You're gonna come to this snow mountain and you see the big waterfall entrance right there. You're not gonna use the waterfall entrance. It's gonna be the entrance right to the left of it. It's a little smaller entrance. And you're just gonna come in here, go straight ahead through this little water area, take a left. Now once you get in here, you're just gonna keep going straight. Don't turn any directions, just keep going. And you're gonna come up on top of this ledge. Once you're on this ledge, you're gonna take a left through this little tunnel. After you get through this little tunnel, you're gonna take a right and look right above you. It's gonna be right in this little pocket right here. For some reason it's not spawning in my single player, but I can show you a little clip of me getting it on the Maywing. The coordinates are 33.8, 55.4. Here's the coordinates for the artifact of the Skylord. 38.7, 44.7. Here it is on the map. Give you an aerial view of where it's at. It's Redwoods, Green Ob, the snow mountain right there. It's actually this river coming off of this snow mountain entrance. There's the entrance to the snow mountain. And you just follow this river down. And it's going to be right at the bottom of this waterfall. Artifact of the Skylord. Super easy to get. Alright, so here's the coordinates for the artifact of the Lost. That's the Redwoods right there. Green Ob, Blue Ob. You can kind of use the icebergs to tell where you need to go down if you don't have a GPS. Here's where it is on the map. The map is really hard to go by because the arrow moves for some reason and it's huge. But if that's all you gotta do what you gotta do. But you come down here. This is the cave entrance. You're just gonna come in. You're gonna need a scuba tank for this one because it's pretty far in there. I would probably bring a water tame too because there is a few dangerous things in there. And if not, you need to probably at least bring scuba flippers. But there's some jellyfish right there. You're just gonna go straight. First spot that you can turn, don't turn there, but that means you're getting close. You're gonna go over this cliff ledge, and right on the other side of the cliff ledge is the artifact. Coordinates are 22.4, 43.9. And here it is on the map. That's the artifact of the lost. Alright, so here's the coordinates for the artifact of the Devourer. Here it is on the map. This is an overview of it. That's the redwoods right there. If I'm coming from the south, it's going to be this furthest pillar to the north and furthest pillar towards redwoods. It's going to be on top of this one. Artifact of the Devourer. Easy peasy. Here's the coordinates for the artifact of the Stalker's cave entrance. 14.4, 25.4. Here it is on the map. And here's a little overview of it. It's like right to the north of this river that's coming out of the redwoods. A little bit to the northwest. You're gonna drop down. I usually use a Maywing to get this. You may not need a scuba tank if you're quick, but I would bring one just in case. There is dangerous stuff. There's a plesiosaur, Dunkleo. If you've been playing the game for a while, you should be able to get around them with a Maywing or a dolphin, no problem. These two long limb looking things. You're gonna go in between them. Come down in this cave and take a left. And the artifact's gonna be right here. 13.7, 24.3. Here it is on the map. This is the artifact of the Stalker. Here's the coordinates for the artifact of the Immune. Here it is on the map. It's in this tree that's used as like a walkway from one cliff to the other. But here's an overview of it. That's snow, tropical isles down there to the south. The way I like to find it is I start from the very south of the redwoods at this river. Here's the coordinates to the river where I start. 37.7, 23.0. Here it is on the map. I start at this mouth of this river and I just follow the river until I see this waterfall. Once I see this waterfall, go up and just keep going straight. Just keep going straight. You're gonna pass this first waterfall and you're gonna see these green crystals. Once you see those green crystals, look right and come right through here and you'll see the tree. And that's the artifact of the Immune. There's multiple cave entrances to this, but I'm gonna show y'all how to get there from this one. These are the coordinates to the cave entrance for the artifact of the depths. The coordinates are 31.9, 32.0. This is where I am on the map. And here's an overview of it. If you're high up, you can just look for those orange crystals, which is also an entrance right there on the top. But if you come further down, you can see these two green crystals right next to the entrance. We're gonna come in here and you're gonna hug the left wall. There's another entrance right there, but just don't worry about that entrance. Just keep hugging the left wall until you see the water right here. Come in the water, right side, go straight down where these crystals are and just keep going straight past these crystals through this little tunnel. Now you have right or left. It all leads to the same route. So if I go right, now I'm going to go back to the beginning and I go left. They both lead to these little oil nodes. Keep going past the oil nodes. Both of these are the same route too. They all bring you to the same place, so don't worry about taking the wrong turn. The only wrong turn is back to where you came from. And then right at the edge of these oil nodes is where the artifact will be. These are the last oil nodes right here. So if you pass those up, you know you went too far. I would definitely come down here with an underwater tame or something like a Maywing, because it is a pretty good distance, and you're definitely going to need a scuba tank. Here's the map of exactly where the artifact is, and here's the coordinates, 32.2, 24.4. But here's the artifact of the depths. If you're thinking about getting your own ARC server to play on with your friends or to start your own PvP server, use the link in the pinned comment or the description. I do make a commission if you buy a server using the link, but it doesn't cost you any extra. If you use promo code Orbanjo, you could save 5% at checkout. That way I can save you a little bit of money for helping support the channel, and I appreciate y'all's support. If you're doing the Ragnarok boss fight or the center boss fight, I made a guide on each of those boss fights, so I'll leave them on the screen for you to check them out. But other than that, thank y'all for watching, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. Peace.